Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Planet LIZZDOM Season 2, Episode 6. This past Saturday, I got to sit down with wrestling legends Exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda, and it was amazing. Even though it is a pre-recorded interview, I encourage you all to leave a comment in the comment section tonight because I bring it to you live so that you can show them how much you love them. So guys, without further ado, here we go. There we go. Well, listen, Linda, Adrian, thank you so much for sitting with me today. I am so excited to speak with you both.
Well, that's lovely, thank you.
Oh my goodness. So now, if I'm correct, you're in the UK.
Yeah. I like your office.
Oh, thank you. You know what? This is where Adrian and I broadcast from. So he and Steffi K will do their live shows, because they are mentalists, and I will do my weekly show from here as well. So I love your office. I see a lot of posters in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, behind us.
That's lovely. Now, it's about 1 in the afternoon there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is. 12:52 exactly.
12:52. Perfect. When I was making my link last night, I just wanted to make sure I had my time zones correct. It's so funny, broadcasting around the world and connecting with everybody. Sometimes when you're lining up the time zones, you don't get it right, even though Google is there to be with you, and you cross-reference and check everything, and it's extraordinary how that can happen. So what I want to do, because this is a pre-tape, normally I will do Planet LIZZDOM live to air, but what I'm going to do today is I'll chat with you, and then on Thursday when I actually broadcast the show, I'll replay this, and then I'll add some media, some notes, all the bells and whistles, and I'll definitely send you the link as well so you can enjoy it later.
Oh, lovely. Good.
Yeah. So, relax, have fun. We're not live, so we can just hang out and have a great chat. It's where do I even begin? I have been a fan of both of you for so long. You guys are my dream couple. It's so evident when I'm watching you in footage that you're so supportive of each other and that you really kind of understand each other so well. Like, how did you two meet? How did you two become Adrian Street and Linda?
He met me in an aquarium shop. I used to work in a zoo, but I thought I'd have a change, and I went to work in an aquarium shop in Croydon, London. And he used to come in buying fish. It was an aquarium shop. It had marine tropical fish, and they were all the colourful fish you see in the Indian Ocean and stuff like that. And he'd seen them apparently in London in a what was it? Bandy or Home exhibition it was at the time. I don't know if they have it there now anyway. But he saw it. The guy gave him this card, and he came into the shop, and that's where we met. And he kept coming in the shop and buying fish, and kept asking me out.
So you didn't say yes immediately?
She kept on selling me thick fish. They'd die, and I'd have to come back for more. That's how she trapped me.
I love it. That is how you hook a man, folks.
You were out of place.
Oh, I love it. Now, I can only assume at the time that you didn't have these personas just yet. Fast forward, you get together, you're a couple. What was the genesis moment where, all of a sudden this amazing, iconic couple that you are became?
Well, it all started. Adrian wrestled in England for a long time before I did, and he's the one that taught me to wrestle. I didn't really think about wrestling until he held his own promotions, more or less. He was in partnership with someone, and they kept getting, girls would sort of say, oh yeah, we'll turn up, when they didn't turn up. So they thought it was a really good idea if I learned to wrestle, and I could stand in for anybody that that didn't turn up for the match. But anyway, I got to like it, and so I started doing that regularly for the shows that we were on.
Well, it turned out that I taught her to wrestle, so it turned out that she was a much better wrestler than a lot of the girls that she stood in for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That was in England. Anyway, where more or less Adrian started to get this persona, this real sort of like exotic type one, is when we left England in 1981. We came to work in Calgary. Do you remember us there, Calgary?
A little bit, and it's remarkable how with wrestling, and the more I learn about it and love it, it is global. You'll start in one part of the world, but you will branch out, and you did start at World of Sports, and all of a sudden now you're in Canada, and it's amazing how the borders cross all the time.
Yeah.
And I can only assume you probably spent a couple of winters in Calgary as well.
Actually, we were lucky. We just missed the worst of it because we had a really nice offer to go to Mexico. So that was just before you got snow.
Oh wow!
So yeah, we spent the winter in Mexico working. That was nice because we went to Cancun and Acapulco. Cancun then was absolutely fabulous because there was no tourists. There's hardly a tourist in sight, and the beaches were absolutely spotless and white as anything. I'd never seen beaches like that, until we went to Florida. Actually, lived in Gulf Breeze, but we'd never seen beaches like that in our lives at the time. It was absolutely gorgeous. We had a good time in Mexico.
That was amazing. Well, and with travel being as accessible as it is now, a lot of these exotic places are not as pristine as they once were.
No, they're not. I've never been back there, but I mean, I've just seen pictures and a lot of kids and stuff from the States go there on their spring breaks and all that sort of thing. And it's so touristy now. I wouldn't want to go with it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think I want to be part of the Girls Gone Wild circus.
I'm a bit long in the tooth for that now.
Me too. I'm more like Liz Gone Wild on the couch with the beer, watching.
Yeah, nice glass of wine on you.
Oh, absolutely. I love YouTube. I watch it all the time, and I've just gone right into this beautiful rabbit hole of Adrian Street and the Pile Drivers. Your videos are fantastic, and I will play a little montage of them because you guys are just so much fun. And all of the subject matter. It's for those of you who don't know about the exotic Adrian Street and Linda and who they are and what they do. It is so flamboyant and so over the top and so ahead of its time. I'm sure you probably hear that a lot from many folks all the time. What you were doing it was really progressive. You would both come into the ring as this couple, and the innuendo was flying everywhere, and you're so covered in glitter and all this gender bending going on, and then you get right to the wrestling, and man, do you guys kick ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, we sort of really blow people's lives. So going to the ring, especially, my voice is going. But Adrian was sort of like a very, very aloof and very feminine and stuff like that going to the ring. And he used to, we used to do the thing where I had to do everything he wanted me to do and stuff like that. And we've really got people going and working some of the places because it made me what was it? Get down on all fours and he'd step on my back into the ring. And I mean, it just, people just could not believe it. And he'd do something to a woman like that. And I thought it was so funny, the reaction we got from it,
Oh, I love watching your interviews. You guys just rile everybody up. Like, here's Adrian, you're being, so cocky, and, Linda, you're brushing his hair and looking after him, and you're just, it's very obvious that you two are a team, and the power dynamic is just so equal, but still interchanging.
Yeah.
like, really, who's the boss here?
Well, I was a downtrodden one, so they thought.
Well, I have to say, like, and again, I'm gonna post a list of these songs because they're brilliant. There's "Imagine What I Could Do to You," "Breaking Bones," "Something Very Strange About a Cowboy," "Violence is Golden," "Sadistic in Sequence" is one of my favorites, and "The Merchant of Venice." Like, what was it like to create this art? I mean, wrestling is one thing, but the art that you've created in conjunction with it is fantastic. Like, what was your writing process, the artistic process?
Oh, you can talk now. What was your creative Go on, say that again.
What was your creative process? With all of these songs and the innuendo and the sassiness, the cockiness of it. How did you come up with the ideas for these songs and the videos?
It's just sort of an exaggeration of myself, really.
Oh my goodness, I made Adrian speak quiet.
That's not like me at all, actually.
Well, I mean, it's, I have to say, you're
that's the album anyway.
oh, amazing. Are those still available for sale?
Yeah.
I designed that myself. That's the back of it. It's a different picture for every track.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, I know some of those photos. Those are great. Oh, guys, you have to pull up YouTube if you've never seen Adrian and Linda before. I mean, the way you come out and you just kind of dance around and then bang, you really take people to town.
Yes, do that.
It's funny because in the States, a lot of people ask me, like in interviews and stuff like that, if I invented British Glam rock.
Well,
my response to that was, no, I didn't invent it, but we shall borrow a lot from each other.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the glam rock singers, pop stars and stuff like that were actually fans of mine.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Bolan from T-Rex, in an interview, they asked him, like, where did he get his ideas for makeup and costumes and stuff like that? And he said from watching Adrian Street wrestling on TV.
That is so cool.
And I really think that David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust was a copy of me.
You know what? Now that you said that, I can really see it.
In fact, the lightning bolt on the face was mine first. All of a sudden, that was Ziggy Stardust.
That's far out.
Now, I've got a suit. Do you want to go and get a suit? I've got a suit that I had custom made in Granny Takes a Trip in Kings Road, Chelsea in London. And that was like one of the few places I wanted to go to for gigs that to get stuff from. I actually wanted it. I had to put together for a tour I was doing in Zambia. But it wasn't ready in time, and unfortunately I had to go without it. But in the meantime, Elton John went into the shop and tried to buy it.
No way!
Actually, yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous! Oh my god, I would wear that on a Tuesday to the supermarket. That's beautiful. Oh my god.
The thing is, Elton John knew who I was because I used to see him and Long John Baldry and the Scottish one, Maggie May. What was his name?
Oh.
What was his name, Len? They used to all get into a club that actually belonged to two professional wrestlers.
Oh wow.
Cromwellian, and they'd all be there in a little group and what have you. So you knew exactly who I was because I'd seen them and they sort of we'd nodded each other. Anyway, they said, "Do you know who this belongs to? It belongs to Adrian Street." I did let you buy it. He got one. He had a suit made in the same style, but instead of having birds of paradise down the arms and legs like I did, he had musical notes, which was all suited to what, but it was my idea.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I never would have known that, but now that I'm aware of it, I'm going to actually take a look at that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Now I have to. Mr. Adrian was telling me that there is a story about the hippodrome that he wanted me to ask about. Apparently you had gone to the hippodrome and somebody had started something with you and you finished it, I believe.
I don't know that. What was that about? The hippodrome?
Yeah, I seem to recall a story where somebody had tried to either intimidate you or mock you, and you kind of showed them that, you know, Adrian Street is a lot tougher than you think. But I don't know the full extent of that story, but I'll have to look into it. It could be the thing of legend, who knows?
The thing is, that is why my image and like the whole persona works so well for me, because I go in the ring looking like a chrysanthemum.
Oh yeah, you would just come on in.
Well, I tell you what, there was an announcer in Texas who actually put the whole thing. This is him announcing, right? When that Adrian Street, I was walking down the aisle, walking to the ring. Damn me if he doesn't look like a whelp, if he doesn't look like a French poodle. Hey, when he gets in the ring and that bell goes, he turns from a French poodle into an American pit bull.
Oh yeah.
Go.
100%. I mean, guys, when you watch,
it's a contrast that works, you know.
Well,
If I'd gone in there, if I'd gone in the ring and carried on all the way through, sort of screaming and running around, it wouldn't have worked for me. It's a contrast. The contrast and the mystery.
absolutely.
You know, I mean, the thing is, as an actress, I'm not gay, but obviously I give it like a gay suggestion. But the thing is that if I turned around and said, "Oh yes, I'm gay," it wouldn't have worked, because the thing is, it's a mystery that kept people intrigued.
Yeah.
Turn around and say something like that, and you're putting yourself in a box. Okay, that's it. Mystery over. But the thing is that mystery and contrast, I think, is what actually works for my image. But one thing is, like, but if he's gay, like, what is he doing with that girl?
Yes.
You know? And not only that, if he's gay, look at what he's doing to the other guy.
Well, yeah, it's just,
The thing is, no matter who I went in the ring with, I could wrestle because I learned from the best.
Absolutely. Your wrestling is incredibly acrobatic. You know, I have to wonder, you know, do you have ballet training?
Yeah.
I have ballet training too. Because he won't wear his hearing aids because he hates them.
Oh, that's okay. I won't wear my glasses because I hate them.
Unfortunately, I got, from secondhand smoke, I got throat cancer
Oh.
when I was in the States. In fact, the doctor said to me, the doctor diagnosed me, he said, "Mr. Street, I have some very bad news for you. I'm going to give it to you straight. You have like 2 very malignant types of throat cancer. You're not going to make it out of this. I suggest you go home and put your affairs in order." And my response to that was, "I'm not dying yet, mate. There's too many people in the world that haven't pissed off yet."
Yes.
I think it's that attitude that actually got me through.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
But
quite
the thing
curious.
is, the radiation treatment and what have you affected my saliva glands. My mouth gets dry when it's wet.
Okay.
But it also affected my hearing, and I don't hear too well.
Ah. Well, I'm very glad that you've made it through. How long ago was that?
I tell you, I took my last radiation treatment when I walked back into the dressing room. That 911 thing was on there. That's when I took my last treatment. So it's over 20 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
And according to the doctor, I didn't have 6 months.
Wow.
But I'm tough.
You are tough.
I don't only beat wrestlers. I beat cancer as well.
I was just gonna say, you just did your finishing move on cancer. That is incredible. I'm very, very happy that you're here. Oh, that sounds like it was pretty intense. You know, that sounds like it was pretty intense indeed. Now, I'll
show you that too.
Oh, hey! Oh my gosh, that's so cool! You have a toy! Oh, I'm so jealous. Imagine what I can do to you. Oh, that's
the back, and that's what we sign our autographs.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so cool. How does it feel to have a toy made in your image?
The Seller Toys is bringing a new one out. It's going to be released by the summertime. But this is a new one that they're bringing out.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, you got your hair.
And they're going to bring one. They're going to do one of Linda as well.
Darn right they should.
So it would be a set.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Now, when they're making a toy of you, how do they study you? Do they actually, come see you in person, look at your image, or look at photos? How did that go for you? Did they just tell you one day that we're making a toy?
They looked at pictures of him and got him to send pictures of his tattoos. stuff. So they
Oh, very cool. So they're going to include the tattoos as well.
that's one, the one that I showed you this in the box. That's what his tattoo on.
Very cool. And it's funny, I keep leaning into the screen to look closer, like it's going to actually make it easier to see. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I see them now. That's amazing. That's really neat. That is so cool. So what's on the horizon for you guys? You know, what do you guys have planned next?
What do we plan next?
Really do enjoy what we're doing. We come back to Wales because I miss the mountains and all the rest of it. And quite honestly, when Trump got in, that was like the deciding factor for me. I said, Linda, I think we're gonna get out of this country and go back to the UK before they replace Donald Trump with Donald Duck.
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, it seems like they've replaced him with Daffy Duck, so.
It's definitely exciting times on this side of the ocean, that's for sure. Everything is very daffy. You know what I wanted to ask before I forget? There is this amazing iconic photo of you, Adrian, where you are in your full regalia, standing beside your father at the mines, and it's black and white, and you're standing there, and you've got the light hat on. I think it's in front of the coal mine. Do you remember that photo? It's black and white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in Pithead, at the Pithead in South Wales.
Photograph was noticed by a guy called Jeremy Della, he's a cultural sort of artist and stuff like that. And he made a documentary on me, and he said that photograph, taken at the coal mine with my father, was the most important pre-war photograph ever taken. He said because it actually showed a transfer from the industrial age into the entertainment age in the UK. But the way that photograph came together was I had a very, very bad relationship with my father.
Oh.
My father was he went into the army when I was 6 months old, and he became a prisoner with the Japanese. So I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, although he never treated my older brother or my younger sister the way he treated me. He was, for whatever reason, when he came back, he didn't like me. I wanted a father. And before I was an atheist, I actually prayed that he'd sort of come back and all the rest of it. He did, but for whatever reason, he didn't like me very much. He had no faith in me at all. Anytime he got upset with my mother, he beat me up because he get a rise out of it that way. And the sympathy I got with my mother was, don't keep your name on your head, he's left stuff now. But anyway, I had a horrible childhood actually. But anyway, my father threatened me from the first time. You wait until you're old enough. I'll have you out of school. I'll have you working in the coal mine for me. And I always said to him, I'm not working in the coal mine. But there wasn't any other work about it at the time, and he got me working. I was working in the coal mine when I was 15 years of age.
Really?
Yeah. But I always said I wanted to be a wrestler, and him, like everybody else, you can't be a wrestler, you're too small. You know, wrestlers are big guys and everything like that. And okay, I was too small. But my heart wasn't.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you got the guts and you're determined to do something, you can do whatever you want to do.
100%, absolutely. You know, you are the perfect example of what you can do if you set your mind to it.
The thing is, even when I got to be a professional wrestler, because of my size, I was like a third, like a third-grade citizen type of a thing. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even accept it by other wrestlers and everything like that in the thing. In the business. I mean, other wrestlers said to be you're too small to be a wrestler and everything like that.
Wow.
So
really
I really had to fight. I really had to fight to prove myself.
Yeah.
And I've always been a fighter. I get into fights in the coal mine. I got into fights with gypsies. Like a lot of Romany gypsies around where we lived and everything like that. And they'd always pick a fight with you and everything like that. And those people are tough. They are tough. But I would never let them beat me.
Wow.
The thing is, my uncle said to me one time, if you don't give up, you'll always win.
Yep, that's true actually. That's a great message to actually carry. If you don't give up, you'll always win. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to carry that in my pocket. Actually, that speaks to so many elements of life.
Yeah.
Man, that's real. I just got goosebumps. That's very powerful.
Doesn't matter how many times you fail. If you're still trying, then you haven't failed. It's still a work in progress.
It's so true. It's so true.
The thing is, I proved myself in the UK. All of a sudden, people forgot I wouldn't let me. But when I decided I was going to leave Britain and go to wrestle in the States, then they turned around. I was almost 40 before I ever left this country.
Oh, wow.
Now, I mean, they were telling me in the early days, you're too young and too small. Now they were telling me, hey, you're 40 years of age, you're too old and too small. You can't wrestle in the States. That's a land of giants. And they were right, it was a land of giants.
Yeah.
And I get a big guy coming up to me, hey, I believe we are wrestling each other tonight. And I'd be looking up his nose. I'd be standing there looking up his nostrils. And I'd say, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
How can a big guy like me, how can a little guy like you be a big guy like me? I said, don't worry about it. When we get in now, I'm going to show you. If a guy came on to me and he had a big man attitude, I would turn him inside out, upside down, and all the rest of it.
That's right.
And Mick Foley said it best. And Adrian was one of those legendary figures in his business who could hurt you real bad, real quick.
I love Mick Foley. That's great. Now, if I understand correctly, the WWE had offered you, a place in their company, but you were offered a different gimmick.
You know,
What's that?
the WWE offered you a place in their company, but not as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they contacted me, they said they wanted me to work for them. I said, yeah, great. But quite honestly, I think that my wrestling was too good. I would have shown a lot of their stars up.
Probably.
There's a lot of their stars I would have turned, they'd have lost quite a few believers if I'd wrestled with some of their guys. Because I can wrestle and they can't.
Yes.
The thing is, they said, we don't want you as a wrestler, we want you as a manager. Hey, they were paying good money, I could go with that.
But it's a completely different, gig. As a manager, you wouldn't get to shine the same way.
No, but the thing is, I would have gone with that because the money was good. And I said, we want you to manage a couple of, a British tag team. I said, good, great. They said, these guys are going to be called the British Skinheads, and they're a pair of over the top. Over the top neo-Nazis.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to be an over the top neo-Nazi. I've never been a racist. I wouldn't be a racist. If other people from other countries respect me, I'll respect them as much as I'll respect anybody else. My motto is, whenever you meet anybody, just be polite. That's all. Just be polite. Doesn't matter who they are, what color they are, you know, even what religion they are. Just be polite and all the rest of it. There's no way. They asked me about the only thing that I would be happy doing.
Yeah.
So I turned them down. J.J. Dillon actually was working for them then. He'd already been my manager when I was wrestling down in Florida. And he thought he'd have an influence over me. I don't know how many times he called me up and said, Adrian, reconsider, you'll make a fortune. I know, because I'm good at whatever. I decided if I put anything into anything, and I take an interest in it, I know that I'll be good at doing it.
Yeah.
But there was no way on earth I'd do that. And can you imagine now? I was proud of my legacy. I was proud of everything I'd done.
Yeah.
Would I be proud now? And what would I be remembered as?
You're absolutely correct. You would not be remembered as, you would be remembered in a different light, and it wouldn't be the beautiful thing that it is. It's true, you know. I am very glad that you stuck to your guns and you stayed true to your convictions.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you know.
I must admit, I wanted the money, but I didn't want that reputation, so I turned them down. Absolutely.
I think, that's the smart choice.
I'm glad I did.
Definitely. Linda, I'm sure, you probably had, quite a lot of feelings around it as well. I love that you guys are still, Linda and Adrian, that would have probably been lost as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very nice.
No, definitely.
But getting back to that photograph, everybody told me that I wasn't big enough to be a professional wrestler.
Oh, yes.
What happened is, I won the European middleweight title. Newspapers got hold of it, and they wanted a photograph of me wearing the belt, and I actually did a 2-week life story on me in the People newspaper. But they wanted a photograph of me wearing the belt. I said, you can take a photograph of me wearing the belt, but it's got to be where I want it to be. I went back, oh, where have you gone?
Oh, I'm still here. I can still see you, and I can still hear you.
Oh, no, you can still see and hear us, okay?
I can still see and hear you.
Oh, it's got to be where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I knew what time my father came up to bed. So I went back there, and that was a way of giving him like a middle finger to my father and the other miners who said I wasn't big enough to, can you still see us?
I can still see you, and I can still hear you. And that is so poetic. Good for you. That is genius on so many levels. you know.
That was the reason I did that.
That's absolutely brilliant. It's interesting, when I looked at that photograph, I couldn't help but think of Zoolander. I don't know if you ever saw that film.
We've got both lists actually.
So you know what I'm talking about, where he goes back to the mines to work with his dad, you know, and he's not, his family doesn't accept his male model profession, and so he goes back into the mines. And the juxtaposition of that, I can't help but wonder if the director, Ben Stiller, knows about this story. I would love to ask him someday.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's some sort of subtle nod going on there.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe. I don't know. I could just be making connections that don't exist. Well,
Can you see that?
oh, I can. What is this?
Hook. It's a magazine.
Oh, very cool.
That's a picture.
I was purposely painting a target on my back because I knew the other wrestlers would resent it. Well, that's a great soundbite. I love it. I have a habit of being very spiteful, so I really, really like that. If someone tells me not to do something, I'm going to do it. That's wonderful. Oh my gosh. What a legacy you have created. Do you ever, I love to talk about this, living history. Do you ever go back and look at different moments in your wrestling career, different pieces of footage, and do you ever think to myself or to yourself, at this moment I knew I was creating history or changing the face of pop culture?
Say that again a bit louder.
Did you ever have a moment when you were, wrestling and doing all of your sound bites, and was there ever a moment where you knew you were creating history and being, an iconic force in wrestling?
Another moment where you thought you were creating history.
Not really, but how can I say I'm conceited? Not really.
You were just doing what you love.
Just doing what you love. Just doing what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was my life. I mean, the thing is, I've had a number of career-ending injuries.
Okay, what kind of injuries have you had?
My Achilles tendon got ripped in half.
Oh.
And a soldier together with catgut. I was laying in bed in a hospital, and the surgeon came to see me. I was sitting there watching an old black and white movie on TV of Flash Gordon, I think, something like that. And he came up to see me, and he said, how are you doing? Oh, okay, like all the rest of it. He said to me, what are you going to do now? I said, lay here and be miserable, I guess. He said, no, let me rephrase that. You used to be a professional wrestler. What are you going to do now? He said, because that is it. Your career is over. I think my heart just about dropped out of my... He said, no. He said, you'll never wrestle again because there'll always be a weakness and everything. But the thing is, if you believe people, they're right. But if you don't believe people, you just do your own thing. I was out for 6 months. I had a plaster covered my foot right up to the top of my thigh. A bit of it came off. I was still going around the arenas with Linda because she was still wrestling. But I couldn't stay out of the ring. But that happened to be another time in the States when I was already in my early 50s. A guy jumped off the corner post, hit me on the leg, and my kneecap ended up in my thigh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was told once again that was it, and they said, right, well, you know, you're in your 50s now, like it's time to retire anyway. I had my last professional contest 7 years ago, and I'm 81 now.
you're not 81.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were in your 60s.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Wow, good job.
I was born in 1940.
Wow, of course, that makes sense. But it just doesn't seem like it. Sorry, I derailed. So you were telling you that, you know, it's over again.
I had my first birthday just before Pearl Harbor.
Wow. Well, I think it might be safe to say that we can change your name now to the Unstoppable Adrian Street.
Yes,
Yeah. There's no stopping you. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I have to ask, you know, if you could, right now, who would you wrestle? Who would you get in the ring with right now and school them?
that's all now.
Yeah.
Somebody who could do it, actually. Who is there about now?
And well, there's a lot of people who are wrestling right now.
The thing is, most of the ones that are current now, if I wrestle with them, I show them up. Mind you, quite honestly, if I got in the ring now, I think I'd hurt myself more than I'd hurt anybody else.
It's not easy, guys. I mean, it looks easy, but it is not. You know, the tumbling and the jumping around and all the bumps and bruises that you take. Like, you have to be tough. You really have to be tough to be a wrestler.
Yeah, it's quite a bumpy road. So,
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you know, for a hot second I considered it, but man, I think I'm kind of a wimp. Like I have hurt myself in the past. I remember falling on my face, and instead of crying and going to the hospital, I came home and put a pack of frozen peas on my face. You know, I took the bus home. But you know, it is not an easy job. I'm sure there were probably days where you didn't want to get in the ring because you just felt, you know, life. You know, how do you pick yourself up and get yourself in the ring for those moments?
well, even if you don't feel good, you still go in and do it. I mean, he's had some cracked ribs. He's actually gone in the ring and wrestled. Crack, and I've actually been in the ring when I had flu. That's pretty horrible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've heard stories where, you know, things are happening and you just have to keep going forward.
I mean, back then you never missed a show at all. You get there however you could get there. I mean, you just didn't do it. You know, you never missed a show for anything. You know, I mean, I remember we were I think it was going up to Scotland, and to Stirling, I think it was, in Scotland, and it was a blizzard going up there. I think the M1 motorway. I mean, you couldn't see a thing at all, and yet we still got. We just kept going. It was dangerous, and I mean, it was silly, really. We shouldn't have done it, but we did because it was just something you had to do at the time, and we got there in the end. But I think there was only one or two other wrestlers actually showed up because the weather was so bad with so much snow.
Wow. Well, you know, you make it happen. You get there however you can, and the show always has to go on.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, I imagine as a wrestler, you work 8 days a week.
Yeah. So sometimes you just work the whole month at a time. You know, you didn't get a day off at all.
Wow.
It's just how it was, you know.
Absolutely. How wonderful that you two can work together though and be with each other, because that can be really hard sometimes to be apart for that length of time.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, we are lucky actually because we get on okay. I mean, even if it's 24/7, we still seem to get on. And I mean, we've been together, I guess, since 1969. How long is that?
Oh wow.
50 odd years.
Yeah, 50 odd. And we've only been married for what, 15? Is it 15 years, I think?
We got married in
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got married in 2015.
Aww.
We had a long engagement. This is something too that was, that I thought was like sort of worth mentioning. When I first started wrestling, or even before I started wrestling, there was two wrestlers that I really idolized. First was Donnelly or Jonathan, and the other one is Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. But I'd never ever met Donnelly or Jonathan. But anyway, Linda and I decided to get married. We got married in the penthouse of the Riviera Hotel and Casino.
Oh yes.
In Las Vegas at the Cauliflower Alley Club. And I met Donnelly or Jonathan the first time in my life, the day before we got married. And he agreed to be my best man.
Oh my goodness.
Now, the guy that gave Linda away was the first promoter we ever wrestled for in the States. The guy that actually married us was a Catholic bishop, but he used to wrestle professionally as a wolfman.
Ah, that's great. Only in Vegas, right?
Only in Vegas, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'm crying tears. That's so sweet.
I mean, you couldn't make that stuff up, could you?
Those are my favorite kinds of stories.
Oh, and the factors at the Cauliflower Alley Club, they said they would never before had like particularly good show. They said there'd never before been so many professional wrestlers under one roof at one time.
Oh, that's cool. That's very, very cool. Oh my gosh, let's get ready to rumble on the dance floor. Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh, you must have so many wonderful memories from that day.
Yes, we do.
That's really special. Aww. I love full circle stories like that. That's really cool. Well, listen, I want to thank you both so much for sitting with me today. I think you're both so lovely, and I'm so glad and grateful, having gotten to know you over this time.
Oh, thank you. We like talking to you, and we like looking at that room of yours.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I'll have to show you more photos later. It's a little bit chaotic right now. I like to nickname it Hot Mess Headquarters.
I can't see you at the moment now.
You can see me or can't?
Oh.
Oh, weird. You know what?
Yeah,
Technology is so funny.
We haven't been able to see you for a while.
Okay. Well, it's funny. Sometimes things will just arbitrarily stop. The camera might stop or something will happen. The good news is I can see you guys, and I will definitely send you a link to this show so you can see it again later. Well, I wish you both a wonderful afternoon. Please keep me posted on your toy releases. for your album, where can folks find it?
Well, you can message Adrian for a copy.
Okay.
That's the best place to do it from.
Okay.
Message you for your album.
Okay.
Oh, guys, it's such a great album. Like, the music is just fantastic, and I will definitely post links to everything on YouTube for everybody to find out about it. Because there are still a few people in this world who don't know the legacy of Adrian and Linda, and that's okay. There are new generations that need to be introduced.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, I do have a good contingent of my audience who are teenagers, so this is going to be their first introduction to you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could spend the next 5 hours hanging out with you. I just need a little coffee or something. But listen, I want to thank you both so much for sitting with me today. You're both so delightful and lovely, and I really hope that I can have another chance to chat with you again, sometime in the future. I would love that. I would love a part 2. Oh, all right, Adrian, Linda, thank you very, very much. You guys are fantastic. I wish you all the best and everything.
Okay, stay safe.
You too, stay safe.
Lovely talking to you.
Lovely talking to you both too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Be well.
Liz, how do you turn this off?
Oh, to turn it off? That's a great question. There's a little red button at the bottom. If you scroll and it says end, then you can end.
Scroll and see.
Because you'll see a little bar at the bottom, and then there's a little red.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. I don't know how to get back onto Zoom, but I shall find out sometime or the other.
Perfect. Oh, and before I let you go, I want you both to smile and look at the camera because I'm going to get a photo of us for our gratitude post. And one more. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. You're beautiful. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.